Hey, what's up, everybody? How do you do? My name is Kafi, and I got a message for you. So, Taurus, come through, and come through. So, I got a little message. It's not much of a doozy, but it had me thinking a lot about what's true for me and what I can stand on. So, the message came out like this: you can stand on what doesn't work as truth. So, that's the way I first heard it. What is true for you? Something that's set like it's stone. Something that's unshakable. It's when a truth about you comes out in a conversation, there's nothing you can do about it. If it's the truth, it's the truth. You can try to hide it all you want, but the truth is like like fire. It's like that eternal fire that whatever it touches, it burns everything else in the vicinity. That black fire that you see in that fantasy, right? That is what the truth is. It just comes out and just takes the scene. It just literally levels the plane, and now you can't even use anything else that you use. Anything that doesn't survive the truth will not last to the next, in the rebuilding phase. So that's a part of what the truth can do for you in the fantasy sense. But when it comes up to the things that are being taken away from you, there are things that you go for, and that brings up the next message. Fantasizing is breathing air, and dreaming is breathing water. Water is more like source, right? So you have the source, the fountain, at your disposal, other than your ego just filling you up with hot air, gassing you up. Oh, these are some things that you can do. That's fantasizing, right? Gassing yourself up is fantasizing. And the crazy thing about having a dream and daydreaming and fantasizing and things like that, you keep putting things in the way of the actual dream process. The dream is lived. It's not like a milestone. The milestone is more like what the fantasies come up with. Like, this is what you're going after, and then you get to a new checkpoint. I call them checkpoints. And for some reason, somebody needs to hear this. I had a thought to myself that deja vu is a checkpoint in your life that where you can understand you came back to this moment to make a certain decision so many times, and you remember it as a soul. Oh, here we go, this moment again. This was a very important moment in my life. Let me pay attention. Because every time I have, it's premonition and deja vu. Every time I have one of those, I'm thinking about, like, now, what decision did I make? What decision could I make from now that would make it the best way possible? Like, there's something that happens always after deja vu. But, I get hyped when I see it. I'm like, oh, okay, I reached another checkpoint. That's just the way I see it. That was for somebody, but I'm going to move on. It's important to understand the power of no. And God is nothing, nowhere, and nobody. And you can understand that by saying to yourself, when you're believing in God, you're having faith. You're having faith in nothing that you can see. Nobody that you can really count on. They just come out of nowhere. Coincidence, the hand of God, right? And nowhere to go to get it done. You have nothing, right? So if you find peace with nothing, everything will be brought to you, because the universe works in reverse. When you want something, it keeps it away from you as a lesson that you don't need it in the first place, because you are God. It's like you don't need anything, but your fantasy makes you want everything, and then you have to battle your inner self to find balance within both of those opposing energies. So that is for you, Taurus. Those were the messages. So real quick, I want to go into some of your attributes as a Taurus. So what I'm going to be explaining right now are things that you are better than any other sign as a Taurus. But understand, the soul comes first, and then the blueprint of the Zodiac comes afterwards. You are not the Zodiac. You are the unlimited that comes before it. And it's a very important reading for you as a Taurus, because that first blueprint is where the Empress lies, right? That's the Taurus card, is an Empress card, and the Hierophant card. So let me go over the attributes really quickly. You're probably seeing it right now, but the perspective of Taurus is I do not. Now, that's very important, because imagine the things that you shouldn't have done, that you didn't do, and where it led you right now. Aren't you grateful for those things? Now, there are some people who make a lot of more mistakes than a Taurus makes when it comes up to going all in on something. You understand it at a level that I don't. I'm a Cancer, right? My energy is I feel. That's my perspective. I would get the feelings from everything. I will understand the feelings of everybody. But when it comes up to you, let's move on. The house of Taurus is the house of value. Now, I would like you to think of this as mana. Why? Because mana to manifest. And the closest to the purest manifestation, aka the Empress card, right? You have to really realize that's where it begins. That's the source code of the intention in the first place. The Empress is that virgin energy. Is like that the purest intent. That's the basic way I can get you to understand that. So that's your house. Now, what fuels your house? Let me say this again. So what fuels your house as a Taurus, the house of value, is a sense of victory. All the senses that bring you everything that in your presence that gives you that sense of victory. That fuels your house. So accolades and things like that, trophies, things like that, that fuels your house, that fuels your stability. That's natural. And as I said before, you are above the blueprint. So that's what comes natural to you. That's what makes you safe and comfortable. These accolades, I know I'm talking to somebody. So the focus right now is the Empress card. I kept mentioning that. It's the purest form of the intention. So your soul's pure, basically your inner child, if it was to speak to you in pure English, you'll be able to enact that pure English. That's what a Taurus does better than anybody else. That pure English that comes out with your spirit, when it's time to, you got that. And it's manifestational. So it always comes into something that you can see and use because you are fitted to see where the source energy lies. That mana, that manifestation, right? The value of it all. Yeah, I can keep going. The power is the Hierophant. Now, I had it backwards. The Hierophant is the pure intention. The Empress is the embodiment of the archetype. Thank you. I wrote it down before. It's the embodiment of the archetype. The Empress. That first blueprint, right? But then the pure intention is the Hierophant. Right. Your tool, let me explain the focus and power really quickly. The focus, when it comes to archery, is the bow. The power is the pull back on the string. So you can understand how those two things need to work together in order to shoot the target, right? That's what it is for a Taurus. So the Empress card is your focus, which is right here, right? So the Empress card is your focus, which is right here. And this has to do with the embodiment of the yin yang in general. Like I keep talking about pure form. It's right there. And your power is the Hierophant, which is the connection from your will to your wants. So basically, your energy naturally is going to get everything that your inner child wants. And anybody who's in the way of that, unfortunately, has to take a step back. It's just what it is. That's how powerful the energy wants to be next to you. I don't know why I said that. Wants to be next to you? Whoever that was for. Yeah. So this is your tool, which is the will, in this section right here. Basically, it's the power of the ego. Now, ego is not innately negative or positive. It's how we use it as the persona, right? So the ego is your ability to use your mental mind, the calculator in you, and discern what to do with it, right? So you get all the answers from that mental mind, and the ego discerns what to do with it. Now, you can take that how it resonates. If you are trying to get something done, there's a power in that that's very strong. And not a lot of people like that level of strength. They don't really mesh with it. For some reason, that's prevalent in this reading. Your strength is so high, you are so powerful that you can't be around level 3s no more. You can't. It's just not what's in the books for you anymore. All they're going to do is hold you back. So if you're trying to hold on to these people, let go and see who stays. It's easier. Your regular sense is the smell, right? You know, this regular sense is the smell, but the spiritual sense is clairsalience. Now imagine you can smell some food and you'll remember your grandmother, right? That's salience, that's clairsalience. But that goes into many different walks of life. Basically, you can smell something burning right out of nowhere in the middle of a forest. Nothing's actually being burnt, but it's your spirit telling you to get out or something like that. You'll understand these are messages that you are interpreting through your sense of smell, and it's spiritual and physical. So take how it resonates. Now the next one is, naturally your element is earth, and the chakra is the solar plexus. The solar plexus is a place of pressure that creates heat, not fire. It's pressure, piezoelectric energy that creates heat. Right. So now that we gotten past the attributes, I'm going to go straight into the reading, starting off with the first part of the reading. Well, let me explain what the Zin-Finity Board is. It's an elementally energetic grid that flows on a 21-part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. So basically anything that you can think of is in this grid right here, and it's up to us to make it clear, right? So the first part of the reading is Ayin, as in Ein Sof 4 in the tree of life above it, and that's the way I just structured the reading. So what we do in this part is who, what, when, where, and why the situation. This is where we get the setting of everything that's happening. I get to place, these readings are ethereal. So there's an image that I'm going to invite you to right now. So starting off with who can be in your mind, what the answer for who is, right? It is bring love into the situation, new moon in Aquarius. Now, if you have an Aquarius who's bothering you or who you need to go to, this might be that question for you. You need to be more detached from the situation. Thinking outside the box will bring the solution. More pragmatism is called for. Improve your karma by doing some charitable work. Now, charity is one of the greatest things that you can do in this world because it's showing love. Now, people can take advantage of that love, and that's where you need to have discernment, right? Now, your charity is very potent because you are a Taurus. You understand everything from the source innately. You will always pick the best fruit out of the bunch. That's just what happens with you. Being detached from the situation, bringing love into the situation. Now, the purest form of love doesn't have any heartstrings. I don't need to hold anybody next to me for them to be with me. It's magnetic, right? It's more magnetic than electric, if anything. So, understanding that nobody's in chains, nobody's being forced to do anything, it comes naturally. So, being detached actually shows the truth of the situation, because will they stay or not? Or do you have to put up that continuous fight against their demons, your demons, to keep y'all together? And if you run into a person that says that they do not have demons, run away from them immediately. They will be no good for you. A person who's a true chosen one will let you know about their demons. It's there. It's gonna be there. You're gonna be safe around them because you know that they have it in check. You already know. We're able to talk about it because it's already under subjection. We got it. We got to handle it. Right? So that's who. What is your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. Before I get to that, it's the archetype, right? For this energy, who was agape, and we all know agape love. That's that true love. Now imagine that person that, I don't know why I said promised you that. Is it faltering when you relax, or does it stay and grow like it should naturally when you let go? So that was that. What? Your hard work is paying off. New moon in Capricorn. You need to be more disciplined to reach your goal. Hard work may be your dream's reality. A very good omen for study or teaching. Don't be too controlling and avoid anyone who is controlling. Now, structure is very important. You have to be able to be willing to submit to a structure. Like if you wanted to work out, you wanted to gain or lose. There's a format play, time tested in many different ways for you to achieve these goals. So submitting to a structure to get that done is necessary. And hard work will make your dreams a reality. Now, that's kind of self-explanatory. But what is it about the hard work? What kind of work is being done? On your fantasy or on your dream? Now, fantasies are created from that calculator in your mind. It wants to see the end play out in the way that it created. Now, life is eternally changing. So every stamp that you say, oh, this is how it would turn out, understand that that's not the truth immediately. It's not going to be that way. It's going to come out in a way that's ordained for you to keep. Because our blessings, you don't want God to give you anywhere near your blessing and you not being able to keep it. So that's a struggle in itself. Don't give me my blessings, God, if I cannot keep them. Not yet. If I cannot keep my blessings, these things that I'm dreaming of, don't let me have it yet. That was what? When is adjustments are required, third quarter moon. Oh, what is the shaman? Now, shamans are very mystical beings. You'll understand that they can basically read the spirit. They can read that emotional energy. They can read, oh yeah, shamans are the one that are not afraid to get dirty. Those are the ones that the village comes to when there's a problem. I need information. Those are usually the elder energy, right? But the people have to be willing to accept your structure, accept what you know to be as truth. They have to be willing, and if they're not willing, their doors are closed. As I said in my last reading, their doors are closed for all interpretation of what you're saying. They're not going to hear you. It just won't work. Alright, so for when adjustments are required, third quarter moon, and this has the flame in it. So you can understand it as the song that came to me was New Flame by Usher and Chris Brown. So if you've been hearing that song recently, or that tune has been getting you, this probably is for you, because what happens when you get a new flame, a new spark, a new motivation? It doesn't have to be a person always. It can be an idea that you finally have an answer for, a reason. I don't know why I said to live, that's unshakable. Now you can't get rid of yourself. You feel me? Now it's like, oh man, that's a beautiful reason to live. Now I can't even do it. Now imagine how many people go through life without these reasons, but they're just still stagnant and staying there. These are the people that are kind of untouchable by truth, with truth, you know, that fire, right? Because they do not want to have any kind of accountability, and they want to live in ignorance. You cannot do anything with a person that wants to live in ignorance. When they're not ready to live in ignorance, or when their karma is ready to give them, you know, bring them on that journey, you can't go in front of God for that process. That it will come in time. Their karma will come in time. You can't just choose it, right? All right. So it says your life may be out of balance, and this may be causing your issues. It may be time to hatch a whole new plan. Something new and exciting is around the corner. Trust may be required to move the situation forwards. Trust with what? Trust with what you know that is real for you and what works for you. Those are the things that are time tested. Now, if somebody's pushing their agenda on you to basically siphon your soul energy, I don't know why I said that. Siphoning your soul energy. It could be bed lust, you know, that kind of energy, because when you get rid of that stuff, that's literally energy that you're getting rid of. It's more spiritual than you think it is physical. It's more things happening on that realm we don't even know. Sexually transmitted demons are a real thing, and when you lay with somebody, what is that? What happens? Does your life change, or does your life get better? And people can get with you to make their life better because you're sharing with them your energy, and energy flows, and it's gonna balance it out, right? So if you're not with a high vibrational person, you're not gonna balance out at a high energy. You're gonna balance out at a lower energy. It's just what it is. That's what the energy does. So choose your people accordingly. The next is luck is on your side, and this is for when. Where. Luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. And this is the vow. Alright, you need to laugh more. This is a wonderful time to start a course of study or teaching. That's the second time study came out. What is it that fancies you right now? What is it that your mind can't get enough of? It's something, even if it's in a doom scrolling, there's something in that subject that you need to pay attention to. Write down what makes you feel good about that subject, and then you'll start getting a cursor, an indicator on where to go from that. It's right there. You've been looking at it for about 2 months now. 2 is a very important number. 2 days from now, 2 months from now, you're going to see it. Well, you've been thinking about it for 2 months, Don't be narrow-minded. Start a week of gratitude practice. A gratitude practice. Being grateful for your present abundance. Even if you don't believe, See, that's also something that we're forcing on this universe to change for our life, right? Since, as I said before, the universe works in reverse. You have to be grateful for what you have, because more can come in, because that's an open door. If you're not grateful, the universe has to teach you. You are God, and you have everything already. And when you are grateful, more comes in. It's very frustrating. And you always see these spiritual people talk about it this way. Not wanting it is the way it gets to you faster. People who manage a lot of money, people who it seems like money chases them, they don't care about it. Not as much as we do. So the last energy is for why, and this is take time to breathe out. The disseminating moon, right? This is the archetype that came out, was the bardo. I don't even know what that is. Let me see. It says a state of existence between death and rebirth, varying in length according to a person's conduct in life and manner of age or at death. Basically, is that middle ground between, I guess, seeing everything for what you're doing, like the progress report of life. That's right now. That's what this is about. That progress report. Because you're here to hear this message, and death comes in different ways. But right now, it's about that progress report. Like, do you continue on with this journey in the same way you've been doing it, or do you do a different thing? Because that energy is dead now. That's what the message was. So take time to breathe out. You should know where you stand either very soon or now. You need to take some time out for your own good. It is time for you to share your wisdom and experience with someone else. Avoid falling into a slump. Now, slumps are very hard to get out of, because people, it's like they keep you in it by their negative thoughts and their, oh, you need to be doing this, or this is going to happen. So what happened in that moment is you're saying, or this is going to happen. You're hearing that, or this is going to happen. That's the bad thing. And you don't have enough at that moment from that person, enough good energy or a structure to get past it. They just, not fear pushing, but like effects. Like they just want you to let you know that this is something bad that's going to happen to you and no way to get out of it. That's not a person to be around, because once it goes in the mind, it's there. How about you put some good energy in there? How about you let somebody know that it's going to be okay, even though it's going to be a little bit hard. They're going to know that they can get through it. Besides that person who always likes to push the negativity that leads to a dead end. So yeah, that was why. So that was Ayin. The next part of the reading is Soph. This is where we get to the perspectives and what's off suit. Anything that is off suit means that there are elements here that should be fire, air, water, earth. And when you see it turn, that means that it's out of suit. So that means that the energy that comes from the crown chakra down to the root is blocked at that point, at that perspective. So we're going to go down the line of perspectives to clear it. So the first energy that's up is IB. This is your being at the beginning and the end of every day. Who you're going to be. This is the 9 of Cups. So let's get it. Satisfaction, emotional stability, and luxury. Now, luxury is very good. Taurus loves luxury. If it's one thing I know. But it's about the value behind it. The effect that it can have in this world. That's what you're after. You're after the manifestational effect. You just see confirmation. You just see it before everybody else see it. You can see that potential before everybody else. So that luxury is always going to come to you easy at the end of the day, right? It's just what it is. You recover very quickly. So that's your being, right? That's at the crown energy. What crown's the reading, I mean. The next energy is I want. Now this is the first energy that's off suit. It's water. It should be air or earth. It should be fire or earth, and it's not. So since this is just a reading for the zodiac in general, I'm going to leave all of the ones besides in your suit uncorrected so you can understand where the offset is. Since it's just for you, it's pointing out everything that you have to be mindful of. Right, so the Ace of Cups. New feelings, spirituality, and intuition. This is in a place of what you want. Your crosshairs, where you're walking. You know, when you strafe left and right on a game, a first-person shooter, wherever that arrow or that cursor is pointing and you're pressing forward is where you're going. So if the forward button is locked in, you might want to hope that you're headed in the right direction. Because, you know, for some reason that bull energy, anything that's in the way is going to get out the way. You better not be in the way of a bull. You better be a matador at this point. And that's a caged bull, by the way, that puts on shows. For some reason I need to say that. And that's not what you want. You don't want to be a performer. You want to be a truther. You want to be a person who lives by truth and not by new feelings that come up every day. You have a new feeling every second. You can't live by these new feelings every second. Sometimes it just needs to be, that's your spirit talking to you. Oh, this is good, I'm going to go after this. Oh, this is good, tomorrow I'm going to go after this too. Will you ever get to the destination if everything that you see is a new direction to go? It's like you have spiritual ADD or mental ADD when it comes up to the fantasy. It's just like, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good. So you see all of the value and can't choose. Okay. That's different. Alright. Next energy is I want. This is on suit. Sorry, I need. This is on suit. And it's the 8 of Cups. A lot of water energy so far. 9, Ace, and 8. Walking away, disillusionment, and leaving behind. When it comes up for you getting what you need out of the situation, from what you need out of spirit, you're not afraid to let go. You're not afraid to walk away. And disillusion, meaning that you're able to come out of the illusion that the person gave you. So whatever fantasy that this person pushed when you were in their life, you can understand that that's just a projection. And all projection isn't real. Well, the projection is more real than time, right? Because it's something that somebody's going to try to create over time. If you believe that there's no such thing as time, the closest thing that we have to it is our current data and where it's going to lead us according to the data, our projection of what it is. So projection is more real than time, because time is like saying that we're here. We're always this. I don't even know where to go from here. Like, this place is always going to be here. There's never going to be an end in a place that's infinite. That's the programming making us believe that this earth isn't perfect the way it is. Oh, we're gonna, yeah, we don't have the ability to break it. It's a perfect system. That's my belief. But yeah, what we do does affect the earth in a way, but you know, humans compared to the time on earth, we're like pebbles, we're like notches in the time history here. Civilizations have rise and fall, and then the whole earth just resets after. Just saying. The next energy is I know. Now this is your knowledge. This box right here, imagine this as a home without a roof. Your knowledge makes the roof out of this shape, so which makes this your home, right? And that's your experience, the things that you've unpacked, not the baggage that you carry. The baggage is not your experience. You did not look at it to see what reason you went through it for. You did not find the answer out of the baggage you already have. So that's different between experience, because experience becomes experience points to your goals. To your skills. Knowledge is power, but it's not just power. Knowledge is power points to your skills. I said that better the second time. Alright, so the next energy, well, let me get this 3 of Swords real quick. Heartbreak, suffering, and grief. Getting over something, or being willing to get over something and gaining the experience from it. Calling it a day. Knowing when to quit. That's that energy that gives you the most experience. So if that resonates with you, put it in the comments. Let me know how. That was self-explanatory. The next energy is I will, right? This energy is offsuit, and it's the Fool energy. Now, Fool card, you know, for me is a great energy. Why is it offsuit in this area? Innocence, new beginnings, wonder, and foolishness. Now, the same thing for the Ace of Cups. Oh, this new gem. oh, this new thing, oh, this new thing, oh, this new thing. It's foolish to believe that being unfocused in what you truly want. It's like your dream board never ends. Your vision board never ends. And it always has something new added to it. And since you only have a certain space to occupy on the vision board, you can't see what's under where it started from anymore. You can't see it anymore. So your vision board is cluttered, maybe restart it, and only put the things that you feel now are important to you. Maybe restarting it will give your mind a new, I almost said access point, but a point to reach to, a new checkpoint to strive for. As I said, that deja vu is coming up again. Now this is in a place of I will. The next is I desire. Desire is very important because it's what your spirit, your inner child, is asking you to do. That's your desire. That's your true desire. And it becomes jealousy and all those things like that when you think that the person is not fit for it, or sometimes you might not be fit to achieve the same goal as that person. You feel it's like, oh, life is unfair, so they shouldn't have it either. So there's a jealousy that comes with desire. But it's the Ace of Wands. So let's see. The Ace of Cups is here and the Ace of Wands. Let's see how they match up. Creation, willpower, inspiration, and desire. Now that's that willpower. This is in a place of spirit. When you put your will in front of spirit, your negative, the negative ego that we keep talking about, that's actually out of line. It's doing way too much. It's saying, I know what I need and that's final. And I got the message. I don't need to hear anything else from you. And if I do hear anything else from you, aka your spirit, we're just going to log this and put it over there because I already have the message, It's not being willing to be patient with yourself. I don't know why patience came up. So the Ace of Wands and this patience, you gotta make something. You gotta do something in order to feel important. Or somebody has to do something to you, has to make you triggered, has to do something negative to you, or any positive too. Positive reinforcement. It depends on how you see it. But they have to do that in order to be in your presence. Like I said, you have a powerful presence. And not anybody can be in your presence. It's like they have to gift you first. Thank you for letting me sit next to you. Because I know I'm going to gain something spiritually if we don't hear it through the mouth. Right? The next energy is I love. Now this energy is on suit. Perfect. I love when the heart is on suit. Why? Because you have the ability to. Nobody can stop you other than yourself. And the Ten of Swords is here. You're done with the manipulation. Those are keys. You have all the keys to go to the next level. Every time. Swords are mental things. 1 to 10, you got the whole digit. You got all of the digits. There's nothing left. And digits is coming in too. How free will you be to go get what you need when nobody's holding you back? That's a question that you might been asking yourself already. But it requires this agape love over here to unveil, if you to gain that experience, why you needed to leave in the first place. That was strange the way it came out, but I know I said it right. Alright. The next energy, I need to explain the solar plexus right here because this is where you guys as a Taurus are. You're not in the root chakra. Look at the tree of life. Look where Taurus is. And then look where the root chakra is on the tree of life. You guys are in the solar plexus. Taurus, Libra, Gemini, and Virgo. None of them are fire, but it's fire, right? This is the place of solar plexus fire, right? It's actually piezoelectric energy, and earth and air create that energy at the same time. So there's either earth or air that can be here, and this is a balance right here. I don't even know what to say about this right now. The 8 of Pentacles and the 8 of Swords came out. So the 8-8 portal, whatever happened around that time, you're noticing the effects right now. Read your notes from that day. If you've been getting messages to write things down, look for the note that you wrote down the closest. Look for the post that you liked on those days. Just look at it. I know there's histories in certain places. What is it about that day that changed you internally that you couldn't figure out until right now? How strong did it grow? How much more communication is coming through now? Right? These are these 8 of Swords and 8 of Pentacles. So let's go. Let me get this real quick. On the solar plexus, you have hold. Sorry, you have hold in net sack. I do it from the left and the right, right? You have hold in the net sack. Taurus is in net sack, and it has the earth element on here. So there's a lot of things that is just flipping in my mind to say that you are willing and diligent. You're going to get it done, and you got the mental capacity to do it. And nobody's going to manipulate you anymore from getting this ego fantasy even done. But like I said before, the things that are not for you, the things that the universe told you no and took away from you, when you let go, you see what stayed, and now you have more of a clear picture of what the dream actually is. Because the fantasy is basically just drawing over, like imagine you had an invisible sketch, invisible outline sketch, and you have nothing but crayons, and you couldn't understand the outlines. You were painting outside the lines, drawing outside the lines until you spiritually understood where the lines were, and now the picture is coming in, right? But you had to do a few strokes, a few failed attempts to figure out where it was. Oh, now I know how to stay in line. So the people that were out of line with you, where are they now? That 8-8 portal took them away. 8 of Swords. Let's get this one first. Now this is for the Gemini and Virgo side of the solar plexus. This is imprisonment, entrapment, and self-victimization. Now, self-victimization, when it comes into a balance with this, let's get the 8 of Pentacles so you can understand it. Diligence, passion, and high standards. Now, if you are trapped in your vision of the standard on how it should be, is it a good thing? Are you led by God with this vision? Or are you led by your ego? Are you led by the fantasy created by fear? Or are you led by the dream lived through courage? Which one are you motivated by? That's a question for you. But it seems like you're motivated by what you are. And that's great now because you've been through it. You are motivated by what everybody else said before, and you're done with it. You have no more room in your heart for those type of emotions and feelings and things anymore. Now you got to move on. The 8 of Pentacles is the Taurus one, right? So, like I said, diligence, passion, and high standards. But if I'm reading it reverse, right? No passion, uninspired, and no motivation. This is not you anymore. You have all of the motivation to get it done because you know where the source is. You now know that you're going to fail, so it don't matter. You might as well go anyway. But when you fail, at the end of the day, you will recover like you never did. Because the universe gives you, like, I should say, the universe got your back is an understatement. This is why this guy is able to sit here so freely. I don't care about the failures. I don't care about the trials. It's going to get done. And I'm going to be sitting here lovely for it at the end of the day. I have what I need. And if I don't have what I need currently, I know that within my projection I have it. So I'm good anyway. Right. So the next energy is I feel. That's the Cancer, right? And the energy is the Lovers, and this is offsuit. So let's get it real quick. Now the Lovers is in a Major Arcana. I always talk about how all Major Arcana cards are love cards. Love is movement. It gets energy from perspective to perspective. And it's the only thing that has process in it, and that has time. So everything else is out of time. These Arcanas are within time. The Lovers card is partnerships, union, and duality with feelings. These are things that you express, things that I can read as another person. I cannot read your emotions. I can read your feelings because they are expressed through your body language. They are expressed. They are not in potential anymore. I always talk about the potential compared to the reality, the actual, or whatever you want to say. Now, this union is between your quick movements to what you find beautiful and your ability to get things done in the first place. So it's like you're a jack of all trades into failing first to find out what the answer is already. But this union was out of line. Why? Because this is an air energy in a place of water. You're choosing not to feel. You're choosing not to feel. And you cannot interpret your spirit if you cannot hear it. Right? Spirit speaks with your feelings and your gut feelings and your senses and how it gets interpreted by you. Like, these things, they speak to us, and we have to determine what it is. Air is opposite to water, parallel to it. So just imagine that you're being very mental in a place that you should be a little bit more emotional. So yeah, I don't need to say anything else about that. The last energy of this part is the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant came out, and this is your, what is it, your power card? Yeah, your power card. Your power came up in the place of the earth chakra, right? So your manifestational power is very suited to what you truly want to bring into this world, what you're manifested to bring into this world. If it was so hard to build it, that means that there is a force equal to how great that dream is, trying to keep you from it. And the way I explain how we build in this world, when it comes up to negative and positive energy, think of it this way. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. That's just straight math. If me, as a neutral person, decides to do something positive in this world, right? There's a negative presence, energy, that's going to fight me to go back to zero. It's just what it is. Now, I keep this level 1 up. Let's just say I did level 1 positivity, right? Then I have level 1 negativity coming at me. I defeat that level, and now it's all me. I'm a whole level 1, and now I'm bigger and greater than what I was before. But you can digress. I don't know what the word is. You can level down, or you can level up in this process. Sometimes you fall off, and you remember. Well, at this point, you remember how to get back, because I said you don't fall very far. Yeah. All right. So that was the end of Soph. The next part of the reading is, oh snap. Oh yeah, I'm good. The next part of the reading is Or. Now, Or has to do with it being mechanical. The things that you can actually do with your hands and your body and your temple. The things that you can do with your temple to figure out certain things, right? So the first energy that came up, and well, this is how it operates. You have experimentation, expression, integration, transcendence, and ascendance. So transcendence is leveling up, ascendance is evolving, right? Like Pokemon. Perfect analogy. So the first one, in the experimentation, is the past life. I just mentioned the past life before, because a past life could be 6 months ago, before you decided to make that decision that changed your life forever. That's a past life. You could remember being a certain way a while ago. That's another past life. You don't do those things anymore and keep those same things up anymore. Past lives is not just the whole spiritual, I've lived a whole different life as another body. That's something that we can't really relate to unless you're tuned into that realm. For the regulars, right, we have to rely on who we were and who we are now. That's the past life. So that's what you can experiment on. What you can express is the talisman. There are, I would call them living like totems, and well, it's called a talisman, right? A talisman, usually for protection or for this or for that, is a purpose to it. Now the talisman is also a key, and as I mentioned before, these 10 of swords, these are all keys, and this is why this 10 of swords, these keys came out. And it be, these readings be lining up so crazy that I can't make it up. There's too many cards to make up. Yeah. The next energy is safe travel, and that's in integration. Safe travel is this. Who's traveling where? Now, there's movement with the major arcanas, right? Now, imagine your spirit has to get from one place to another. Your spirit is energy, and your consciousness is form. Now, these two things together create things, and that's the journey. The safe travel is the journey. Doesn't have to do with going from one place to another. Or maybe you can experiment with going from one place to another. You might be thinking about moving, or moving is within your grasp right now. This is why you have so much less responsibilities at this time. It feels like the responsibilities just diminished. Why? Because you have a new mission, and this is that cursor, that indicator for it. The next one is transcendence. This is how you level up with nature spirits. I was outside today with my feet in the grass. I noticed that I have more of a clear mind afterwards. And if you're ever hungry in the morning, you go out and put your feet on the grass and sit in the sun. I promise you, within like a half hour, it's like so manageable. We eat the nature elements just by being outside in nature. So we eat the energy from the ground, the negative ions, and we eat the vitamin D from the sun. So there are a lot of things that happen. If you're outside in the elements for too long, it can take away from you. So this is why we need to protect from it. So these nature spirits, people are spiritual in nature, right? I had to just say it that way for some reason. If my nature is to be a certain way to people like you, I said it like that for a reason. My nature is to be a certain way to you. You have to find a nature that either keeps my energy away, or it helps you, or you just understand it, or you just leveled up past it so much that it's just a conversation with the person and it's like, don't do this again. I don't know why that was important, but that's nature spirits. The last energy that came out was protection. Now this has to do with how you evolve. Boundaries and protection are so important. This is the first card of the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck in the first place. Now, the first thing you need is protection. Why? Because at the root level, everything wants to get in. And if you close your doors to the negativity, what's inside of you can be nurtured. Now, this goes for food as well as spiritual ingestion, right? Mental ingestion, yeah. So, the first energy that, animal spirit that came up was the turtle for past life. Funny how the turtle represents the moon. It has 28 pieces on its shell and 28 little pieces around its shell and 13 on the inside. It's always like that. It's always connected to the moon, and turtle energy is known as slow and steady, right? What does that mean for you when it comes out to the past life? It took you some time to get where you are now, presently, but it was worth it. How worth it was it? That was the message right there. The next one is hummingbird for talisman in expression. The hummingbird flapping his wings at 1,000 miles an hour, whatever it is, right? But looks like it's stationary, but can be doing everything else almost like it's floating. But to the naked eye, to the regular eye, you won't see that much flappage, right? So this is about, imagine if there was a high winds, right? Imagine if there were high emotions and you were able to find peace within it. This is where that hummingbird energy is coming from. The hummingbirds are very small. So with a small emotion from somebody can brighten your day. Or maybe you can be that blessing for somebody. Find something to say to some random person and change their day. Because these social media influencers be talking about it all day. I saw this and it changed me. I wanted to share it with you. So that happens 24/7 around the world. It might be your time. The next energy that came up was the deer. Now, a deer in headlights. Deers are very, they're hunted for game, for sport. Now, is it a sport for you to go after what you want? Maybe. But is it a game at the end of the day? No, you're doing this for real. So whoever has you integrating these fake principles into your life, the things that don't stand up, will have you feeling like a deer in headlights when the consequences come by. So integrate. I don't need to say anything else. The next energy from nature spirits was frog. Now, every time I pick the frog, I always think of Frogger and jumping and dodging the cars. But we get so good at games, it becomes natural to us to go through those types of obstacles. And this is why we level up so easy. you level up so easy. That frog spirit. We're gonna get this done. I got lives. We're gonna get to the next thing, and next thing you know, I can start over. AKA, I can just say this is the point in my life where I change it, and it's gonna be different from now on. Starting over this new game. I don't know why a game came out, but the next and last energy was the vulture. Over protection, over how you evolve. Right. So, the vulture energy. Bottom feeders, like they feed last. They even eat bone. But they do not hunt. They wait for the people to hunt. So it's that patience behind it. You don't have to worry because everybody in the animal kingdom is hungry. It's going to be some carcass somewhere. And when it's finished, when they finish with it, I know it still can be used. Because you're a Taurus. You know where the source energy lies. You see where that manifestation can happen. So that vulture energy, they fly high and wait. They circle around their prey. But it's not really prey. It's what's left. You're able to use anything that the enemy takes from you. The crumbs can become a kingdom. It's very frustrating being an enemy against you at the end of the day. Alright, so that was the end of the reading. And I appreciate you for being here, Taurus. If you like this reading, and you would like a private reading, I almost forgot the word, then my email is in the link below. I will never reach out to give you a reading because you know how that works. There's a lot of scams. We just cannot do that anymore, right? So I would never reach out, and yeah. But the reason why I created this page in the first place, I saw something. This is a universal engine. It's not just an image. Its process is running. But this is your all mind. You know how they say all is mind? This is your all mind, and I want to show it out to the whole world. I want to be able, right, to give everybody back the power of their own mind. Imagine you can see this world in process on your phone, but your whole aura, everything that's inside of you and around you, and how it affects you, just the whole thing, literally the Matrix. And that's me. I want to give that to you. I know how to show it to you. And you know, if you like this content and I get up there, sooner than later you will have this content on your phone. And all of the readers, I'm actually here for the readers because the readers are going to be in this position, not me. I'm a tool maker, a spiritual tool maker, an engineer of a sort, and I created something for the spiritual community to use. And I got a lot of things that I want to invent. So wish me luck. Again, I appreciate you for being here. Like, share, and subscribe. Share this with your favorite reader. And with all that said and done, I'm Kafa. Peace.